The VJJ. The power of the VJJ is strong. It makes people strong man weak.
The power of the vagina will make you do some things.
I'm telling you, man.
Eric, what's the furthest you've ever drove?
Drove?
For vagina.
Oh, fuck. Not far.
It's a couple blocks.
Not too far. Yeah, not too far. Just rolled over. Probably when I was in high school.
Yeah.
15-year-old.
What do you think, Diego? How far?
Driving with no license to get to it.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I've done that.
In the Marines, I
You
would
flew
travel.
for it.
No.
Diego flew
I
for
did.
it.
Actually, I did.
Diego flew to...
From South Carolina to Texas.
You ask him who he is? Oh, you don't know.
And then I married her.
What's his name? Oh, all right.
You don't know. It's not one of those where you hit this model, but nobody's ever gonna know who she is, how she looks, her name, nothing, right?
No.
Oh no, she died.
She dead.
She's dead.
She's not around anymore.
She can't verify it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Not
man.
one of those.
No.
Not one of those. All yours are legit.
Yep.
All legit.
You believe Diego shit's legit?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Diego don't know. See. Diego don't know if his shit's legit.
Well, fellas, we have been out for, I've been out, what, I missed last week's show? Did y'all do a show
We
last
didn't do
week?
one last week because I was gone all week.
Mm-hmm.
And you were.
Yeah, for sure.
Las Vegas.
How was that?
It was
So,
long.
You guys went to slap fight
I went to
internet?
watch the slap.
Yeah.
She was crazy, bro.
Yeah?
It's awesome. It was actually fun. Like, it was really fun.
It's funny because it's one of those ones
Slap
where
was
like
fun. You got to see it live.
when you see it from a distance, as a coach and as if you've been there, you've fought, you're like, I can't. That looks weird. But then you like live, you're like, oh, it's fucking entertaining. Like I get why it'd be entertaining.
That arena was packed, like packed.
They were into it too, right? Every slap. Oh.
Yeah. I didn't get there for the first couple, but I was there to see like main event, co-main event, Paige. I
Yeah.
got to see Paige. I think it's a really cool thing if like maybe some retired MMA guys want to still compete in some sort of combat sports.
Yeah.
Any punch drunk type guys, I don't think it's a good idea. Like I wouldn't want to see a Chuck Liddell up there
Sure.
getting that done, you know?
Sure.
Like he's already been through wars, you know? So it's like
I think it's one of those ones where, kind of like you said, when you look at it for guys who are somewhat done chasing the dream,
right. And they pay him. Power slap pays very well.
Yeah, you still are able to achieve a level of like notoriety, and like you could become a champion in power slap.
Yeah. And you get to work with the big bosses.
Yeah.
I mean, Hunter was right there, and he brought us up, and I got to talk to him a little bit about Fury and a couple other things, and like he's very into power slap. And then Dana comes and sits right next to him, and he's very into it. Like, and Dana says this business is exactly what the UFC was when I first started it, and I'm gonna make sure that it continues to build into something like the UFC is. So
Yeah,
how can you not want to get behind that? Like,
You're seeing a lot of investment right now from the UFC into jiu-jitsu, into power slap. So they're definitely expanding their grasp on combat sports. And I think it's cool for us because we, I mean, look, to be fair, we're getting a lead from inside.
Right.
You know, I mean, when depending on where you rank promotions, and I think at this point,
we're top 5, 100%. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant.
I think we're 1 or 2.
Yeah, but
I think we're 1 or 2 depending on where you live.
yeah.
If you're
I know for a fact we're top 5.
if you are a fighter a professional fighter in the southwest side of America, I think your goal is Fury. Yeah. I think if you're an East Coast fighter, it's probably CFFC.
Yeah.
And
If you're
then
West Coast, it's LFA?
West Coast, it's LFA. And I think depending on where you're at that kind of sets your target as to who's like your goal.
Right.
But I think the one thing that sets us apart, I mean, there's a few things that set us apart, to be fair, but I think the number one thing that sets us apart, and we talked about this just the other day, is that we truly build prospects.
Yes.
We can take you from your amateurs, of fighting in amateurs, all the way to your pro debut in the UFC.
And we talked about there's a true difference in building talent and finding talent.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
anybody can find somebody that's got a 3-0, 4-0 record and be like, hey, come over here. But to build a Josh Van or a Cody Steele, you know,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
You know,
That's Sebastian Oyervides.
I'll look at this, and this isn't I'm not being negative about one of our own guys, but look, when you take a Jacoby,
Yeah.
that was kind of easy. He was such a talented fighter. The hardest thing for us was just like getting guys to say yeah,
yes.
getting guys to say yeah.
Nick too.
But he was Nick as well. These guys are already proven commodities who have been through wars. They've been through everything, man. Jacoby's wrestled in front of 100,000 people, and a crazy OSU crowd, and like they've had craziness and already at that level. So to me, those are kind of easy pickings. It's easy to go, man, if we sign Nick Piccinini, as long as we keep him busy, he's going to get to the UFC. Of course.
Right.
Then you go back and you look at none of us can sit here and say that when Josh Van was fighting amateurs, that we all thought he's going to the UFC. It was, this kid's fucking talented.
Yeah.
He had this aura about him. Sebastian has that aura right now.
And I know Michael Aswell's not there yet, but he does too.
100%.
Michael Aswell has never left.
Never.
And that's what I'm looking for, man. I'm looking for the Dallas Dodd type guys.
Yeah.
Those guys that are saying, hey, I'm going to start my amateur career here and my pro career here, and we're sticking with Fury.
And I want to make sure that I'm clear to the fighters who aren't fighting for us. We have nothing against fighters going to fight anywhere. Like, go fight, get your fights in. But the ones who are loyal to us are the ones who we're going to be loyal to as well. And when opportunities come, how many times a week your phone goes off the hook every time a week of, oh, we got to find somebody to replace this. We got to find somebody to replace this. Whether that's Sean or if it's Mick or if it's Hunter, you might as well be a freaking MMA manager at this point because like you've got talent that they're always looking for. So for us, we don't knock you for going somewhere else because I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would at this stage of your career, whether you're an amateur or beginner pro, go somewhere else when you have Fury in your backyard. But that's between you and your coaches. And if that's the route you guys decide to take, we wish you the best. But that moves you off of our list of guys who we're looking at. Like I'm not trying to bring a champion in from another place. Congratulations, you went and got their championship belt. Well, get on their pro show or go somewhere else. Like congratulations. And that's not a knock against anybody. It's just that our goal is to have you fight for Fury with us and let us get you to where you need to be. End of the line.
I want the Jay Aldretti, Devin Jones,
Yes.
Josh Aliman, Michael Aswell, Justice Torres, Cody Steele, Josh Van. Those are the type of guys that we want. Yeah. Because that is developing talent, not finding talent.
There's a massive difference, and I think that speaks to the longevity, and also I think it speaks to like, just we know what we're doing. Yeah. And we refocused the other day and talked about our commitment to the amateurs here in town. Yeah. And we're gonna make sure that like our amateur series isn't going anywhere. If anything, you're gonna see more amateur shows. Yeah. We're gonna keep pumping out shows because there's so much talent here in Texas. And then we're able to bring people in because of where we're situated in between two great airports. It's easy to bring people in. Mm-hmm. So like we're very, very fortunate, man, to be able to put things together. And I think that, look, if you're not with Fury already, you should be. If you want to get to where you're going, this is the #1 route to get to the UFC. If you're not, I wish you the best, but don't be upset when you call and ask for a fight and we don't give you one. Right.
We just got priorities.
Hey, speaking of fights, UFC 313 went down this past weekend.
It's a great card.
Did you? I mean, you were there. You were there. What was the like in the crowd? Did you think Magomed had won that fight?
Yeah, I think he won 3-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 rounds to 2. I feel like Pineda didn't pull the trigger.
I agree.
He just didn't pull the trigger. It was a good fight though. My son was fucking amazed about being there, and it was cool because we were sitting right by the walkout tunnel.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh shoot, look at these seats." Like, yeah, we had a great time, man. Good fights. The crowd was good. Place was packed. It was a good night, definitely.
You know, Alex Perry took a risk taking this fight.
For sure.
Magomed, he did not have to fight right now. The dude, this is his 4th fight in a calendar year. No one's done that in a long time as a champion.
Yeah.
Great takedown defense. He showed some really improved like ability to wrestle and scramble and grapple.
did.
But he never took that risk.
Right.
He never took that risk and really let it go. And I thought it was a very close fight. I don't believe in the mindset of you got to beat the champion. No, man, you got to win the fight. Like you got to win the fight. It doesn't matter if you, whatever that means. But congratulations, we have a new 205 heavyweight champion. You think they run that back next?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No. You think a rematch?
Yes.
I mean, who else is out there to in the 205 division that you want to see fight Magomed?
I mean, I don't think that fight's worthy of a rematch right now.
Okay.
In my opinion, I don't.
I don't know. I feel like Pereira had done enough to earn that right to say, hey, listen, I've been your champ for the last 2 years.
I agree.
I stepped up every late notice fight you asked me to, broken toes, no matter what it was, and I hope he gets that opportunity.
The talk was if he won, of him possibly going to heavy.
I don't think he should. I think he's reached his limit of like physical.
Can you imagine he won this fight, finished this dude, and goes and fights John Jones?
Oh, it'd be the biggest fight ever.
Dude.
If he had won this fight and fought John Jones, it'd be the biggest fight ever. I think this does force
Madison
John
Square
Jones.
Garden.
This forces John Jones to accept the Tom Aspinall fight or just retire. But I think you'll see the Aspinall fight happen.
I think so too.
Off of this, everybody's favorite fighter, Justin Gaethje. Damn, Diego fell through the table.
Diego, what?
Too much vodka.
Diego, what are you doing, Diego?
Diego, you all right?
Why you got that on the little platform?
I'm short.
Well, just get the chair over there.
Good Lord.
Good Lord, with your Walmart pole.
Justin Gaethje defeated Rafael Fizez. These two were such fun to watch fight.
Yeah.
Fizez took the fight on like a week's notice.
Yeah. That was a rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a rematch.
Yeah. Gaethje's fun, man. Like, if
He
Gaethje
is.
isn't your favorite fighter, he's got to be your top 5 favorite fighter. Like, that dude's fun to watch.
And that's because people already were betting against Gaethje going in. They're like, man, he has no chin. He's not going to do what he. It's like, come on.
I mean,
man.
he
You're talking
won.
about Justin Gaethje.
He
man.
won
Come
3
on.
of his last 4. But all everybody thinks about is the 155, laying flat on the floor at the end of fighting Max Holloway.
That's it.
I feel that if he doesn't break his nose in the first round against Holloway, it's a different fight throughout.
Right.
But, like, that's a hard thing to battle with. And you're fighting Max fucking Holloway, who's going to keep pressure and put it on you. Congrats to Max, but Justin Gaethje now, he'll probably stay at number 3. I do think his next fight, he might get a title shot. I could see him getting another title shot. I don't know if he is the guy to beat Islam, though.
No.
I guess.
No. He's not. I don't see it.
Up next, we also had Jalen Turner was submitted by Ignacio Bahamendez.
Triangle, huh?
Yeah.
Triangle choke.
Yeah, Mendez is really fun to watch. But Jalen Turner announced his retirement after that fight.
That was, how many in a row? I think he said 2 or 3 in a row he had lost.
Yeah.
And that's why he was going to walk away. The first time I saw Baja Mendez was when he beat Manuel Torres. That's when I really started paying attention to him that was at the Sphere. And Torres is a dog, and he TKO'd Torres in the first round.
When you look at Jalen Turner, he's had a really interesting career. So he's going to finish his career at 14-9.
He's a
lost
big-ass lightweight.
4 of his last 5 at 155.
See?
But when he lost to Dan Hooker, Renato Moicano, Ignacio Bahamendez, and Gamrot. He lost to some fucking studs. All those dudes are like top 10 fighters.
When you lose that many in a row, I think it's retire or get cut.
Now, I think that's more the line. He's only 29 years old. He hasn't even hit 30 yet. Do you see him leaving and trying to come back? Or I think somebody like him, his first fight in the UFC, he was 7-3 when he got to the UFC in 2018. So he didn't have this like big record when he got there, but he's been very fun to watch. Super tall. I think he's done.
when you try and come back, you're over 30 at that point.
Yeah.
So what do? You call him back in on short notice after he wins 4 in a row? Wins a Fury belt or LFA belt or something?
Yeah.
Why do that when you got a young 22, 23-year-old lightweight that you could just start pulling in and building, man? I mean, I don't see it.
Also on the card, Amanda Lemos defeated Isman Luciano. I didn't watch that fight.
I didn't either. I went upstairs and had a beer with Aswell.
Yeah, I get you.
I didn't watch that.
What about this fucking thing
That
here?
shit was insane.
Mauricio Rufy with the spinning back kick knockout to the back of the head
Poor Bobby.
of Bobby Green. I'm sorry, King Green.
Yeah, poor King Green. He legally changed his name to King Green.
Is that, that was a crazy knockout.
He got the 50K, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of very many knockouts that were better than that.
That night?
In general. Like, dude,
Man,
that's
you got the Edson Barboza Terry.
that's a top 5 to top 10 all-time knockout. I think for me, because of, the Max Holloway Gaethje knockout is probably number 1. In the moment, the way it went down, the Barboza Terry Edson was sick. What about Korean Zombie in the back elbow?
Yeah.
With Yair Rodriguez.
What
knocked him
about
out.
I can't think of his name. Caught the kick.
Oh,
While he's holding
yeah,
his leg,
Joaquin
turns around-
Buckley.
Buckley. That's one of the best. Uriah Hall spinning heel kick on the
yeah.
fighter.
Jeez.
You remember that one?
God, well,
That dude was out for like 30
all right,
minutes.
Gabriel Gonzaga head kicking Mirko Krokop.
That one too, with his legs.
With his leg all twisted underneath him. I mean,
There's been some nasty ones.
there's been some nasty ones. The
Rashad
way,
Evans, Chuck Liddell was pretty
Ooh.
with that left
the
hook.
way King Green fell, like face forward, it was brutal.
It was like a caterpillar, like
Oh, dude, the
like
Emmett,
inched out.
the Josh Emmett Bryce Mitchell one where he
Yeah.
went into seizures afterwards.
The Bryce Mitchell was there, speaking of, and the minute they put his picture on,
Just
they booed
boos.
him. They booed him.
God, you know what's crazy?
Poor
Like
Bryce.
Colby Covington went that route as a joke.
Yeah, he was there too. Colby
Bryce-
was there too.
Bryce Mitchell seems to be like, that's real.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
Yeah, Colby was there. It's funny. All in all, though, it was a fun night. Good card. Very good card. Packed venue.
On the prelims, of course, we had
My boy Van.
What a performance from Josh Van. Did you realize Josh Van was such a high-level wrestler?
This dude had wanted no part of his strike.
Nothing.
Nothing, man. And
Nothing.
he was sprawling.
Yeah.
He's very athletic. Them little bow legs are very athletic.
He wasn't, you know, and looking at it from a different aspect, Josh's wrestling defense was technically sound. It wasn't just that, like, he out-athleted him and moved around it. Dude, it was technically sound. And, I mean, you got to give a massive amount of credit to Daniel Pineda and Frank and the team over there at 4 Ounce, because Josh Van came to them, he wasn't a wrestler. If you remember, his only loss was he got wrestle fucked down on the ground and couldn't get up, couldn't stop the takedowns. And I don't know if he's
Josh
been,
Van?
Yeah.
That was to Devin.
Devin, yeah, Jackson. I
He
don't
got
yeah.
RNC'd.
I don't think since that fight he's really been out wrestled by anybody.
No, he learned a lot from that loss. That's what it's when people say like you learn from your losses. Josh became a totally different fighter after that, and he knew what he needed to do and how people were gonna beat him, and he was like, I'm not gonna ever fucking lose this way again.
Oh, 100%. It's insane, his rise. But there was a moment, and I had, you know, we always hate to see like our local guys lose against local guys. Like you have to, because of the number of people we have, you're gonna have to fight the best guy regionally.
Right.
But for me, the mindset that he had when he asked for the Paris Moran fight, like he changed so much from that fight forward.
Right.
He became this absolute killer. He was always kind of fun to watch. Remember in Denver, he does the fucking calf slicer like out of nowhere. You're like, all right.
You've seen him try and do shit like that in the UFC
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't he try and heel hook Edgar Chairez?
I think he did. Yes.
I think he tried to heel hook Edgar Chairez.
He's so fun to watch, and he's got a great look to him. And when you talk to him, his personality, like when he lets his personality shine, like the kid is funny.
Yeah.
Like he's really, really funny. And I hope that like the swell behind him continues because he's top 15 now.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, and that's so Hall of Famer Josh Van, shout out to you on the win. Rough night in the office for the great white Alex Morano. But he took on an absolute monster.
Yeah,
He knew he had a tough fight, and Carlos looked massive.
But Alex has never
Absolutely.
been a big welterweight,
He's not.
ever.
He's not.
He just hasn't been in that situation where he can never make 55. He would never be a lightweight.
Yeah.
You know?
He's one of those tweeners. He would probably do well for like a 165 division, what was around. But Alex is just, he's so much fun to watch. And you can hear it in the commentators too when there's a moment where he's against the cage, it looks like it might get stopped. And he just starts
He
chucking
went
him.
out on his
He
shield,
just starts
bro.
chucking him, dude. And
I was hoping one of those would land. I was like, damn, if one of these lands and that dude falls.
Dude, I mean, shout out to the Hall of Famer, Alex Morano. Never in a boring fight.
Nope.
Will
Says no.
always be a guy that you want to watch fight. And it was not the outcome you hoped and expected from him. Man, he's had an amazing run in the UFC.
Yep.
And I think it'll be hard to eclipse Derek Lewis as like the greatest Houston fighter to come out of here. But damn, Alex is right there, man. I don't know if he'll ever actually get the title shot that he's wanting. He's kind of sitting around in that top 15-ish like area.
Josh
Damn.
Van made me believe that he's going to be a champion one day.
I can
He's
see
going to
that.
be a UFC flyweight champion one day.
I think
That
so.
would be awesome.
So remember that. Remember I said that.
Hey, shout out to Jay Wayne. Said the show is whack. Where's the cool, handsome guy? He sold us out. He didn't want to come out today.
He went to get his sex changed
He had a
today.
sex change operation. Shout out Corey James.
It's
If you guys are
2025,
out-
it's
If you guys
okay.
are out in the Austin area,
How
check
long
out
is
Corey
the
James.
recovery for Wayne's
Absolute
surgery?
outstanding tattoo work.
Huh?
The recovery for Wayne's surgery, I think it's 3 months, and then he can PP correctly.
Sitting?
Yeah, sitting. Sitting. They tuck the balls up to look like hemorrhoids. So,
Only if they're little.
yeah, only if they're a little bit.
Little
You'll
balls.
be all right. You'll be
Man,
all
I
right.
tell you what was great. The Fight Pass Invitational. Bro, did you see Nicky Rod got subbed?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
He talked about it afterwards.
Nicky's my boy, man.
And Nicky's been one of the
Victor
few
Hugo's my
guys
boy too, though.
who every event that we've had with Fight Pass, he's been the easiest guy to work with.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
Victor
do,
Hugo is too, though.
Yeah, 100%. But for Nicky, I think when you look at this fight, it didn't look like he got into his game. It looked like he was a little more concerned with Victor's game. And when I listened to the Simple Man podcast the other day, shout out to Damien and Nicky and J-Rod.
This was after the event?
Yeah, after the
Okay.
event. Nicky said that he was worried about his guard. And that,
Massive.
and then he even sat there and said afterwards, Nicky's like, I don't know why. He's like, I'm fucking great at getting out of guard, like, I don't know. So it was one of those things where I think he overthought about what his opponent was going to do. And I can tell you as a coach sometimes, that's a battle with a fighter and with a competitor where they're like, oh, well, my guy's really good at X. All right, well, you have to recognize that he's good at that. But we also have to be more concerned with what you're good at and be able to make sure that we can implement that against this other person. Yeah. And so I think, to me, Nicky Rod is number 2 best grappler in the world right now. I mean, that's his first loss in how long?
It's been a long time.
I mean, he won the CGI. He won everything else outside of there. Gordon was the last guy to defeat him before that. And now Victor Hugo. And Victor Hugo is a massive fucking stud. So it's not
He was
like,
like 280 or something.
God, he was so big.
Big dude, bro. Did you see Dana said that this year they're going to pump $10 to $12 million into jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. Like,
I mean, I've heard rumblings we may be taking the FPI overseas.
yeah. I mean, well, this was a solid-ass card. Shout out to Techi and Claudia. Like, they put some serious talent on this card. It delivered.
Yeah.
Great matches, submissions.
That-
Athletes got paid very well.
They've already announced some people for number 1 and for the
11.
number 11 and
Yeah, Tackett.
William Tackett.
He was there. Yeah, he was there sitting. And I hear Andrew Tackett's going to head over there too as soon as he's got one match left on his contract with another promotion, and then he's headed over there too. So it's the Tackett brothers, bro.
I think the Tackett brothers, you're going to see the return of Musamechi, probably at 11. Fifion Davies, who is the #1 female grappler in the world.
I see Raquel Canuto's coming back to that FPI 11.
Yeah.
Cody Steele expressed some interest. He says he wants to. I saw him. I talked to him there. He's like, dude, I'd love to have a match with like a UFC guy.
You know, there's a few people that I would like to try and see on the stage. You know, I have to hit up Mr. Techi and Glaudy over there and let them know, like, there's some really fun grapplers out there.
I'll tell you what, man, like Dorian Olivares would have been a great. He would have been great for this past show, but I think like they need to see him on Submission Hunter Pro stage.
Yeah.
And let's see how easy him and his team are to work with, and then we carry him over.
Yeah, and
we do it right.
We tried to help him out on that one, and
I may reach out again and see if we can.
I think some messages maybe got crossed a little bit as far as like what expectations were on either side. But man, we'd love to put him.
Look how easy it was for Carlos.
Yeah.
Man.
Carlos came and won the 8-man in Submission Hunter Pro. They announced prior to Submission Hunter Pro, whoever was exciting, we're gonna take that guy.
Yep.
He was exciting and won, so had he not been exciting and won, they probably wouldn't have taken him. But then he goes to Submission Hunter Pro, and he subs the dude.
Yeah.
With a triangle.
Yeah.
Like, he looked great, and Techi turns around, he's like, that was an awesome pick.
Yeah.
It's like, man, let's do it again. So, I mean, they're constantly looking for talent, man. We just gotta fill these cards up, guys.
Yeah, I think. Hey, listen, if you're a grappler, we got Submission Hunter Pros coming up here, and it's no secret now at this point. Eric works, really closely with the guys over there at the FPI. I run around and act like I'm doing shit, but I'm not doing anything. But we.
Rich is doing secret shit.
We want to have
secret shit.
We want to showcase the exciting grapplers that we have, and the best way to do that is to put you on the Sub Hunter stage, go out there and get your finish, and then we'll get you to the UFC PI.
Yeah, let me show them. Hey, man, look at this guy. This dude was super exciting. If you don't compete, I can't show, and I'm not gonna show you on somebody else's stage. Sorry.
No,
I'm not gonna do that.
No. I mean, look, there's a little bit of it's a good feeling when a fighter or a competitor walks out and their preview video shows Fury or Sub Hunter Pro. Yeah. That's a good feeling.
But not only that, like Carlos was cool and gave us a shout out right after. Yeah. I mean, he called me Eriki.
Eriki.
Good job, Eriki.
Hey, so Carlos is looking at making that MMA transition too.
Yeah. So we're talking, as long as it doesn't interfere with his grappling upcoming events. I don't know if they're going to pull him back in. There was talk if he did well that they'd maybe pull him back in for May.
Yeah.
So if they pull him back in for May, then I don't know if we'd let him fight in April. But whatever he wants to do, I support. So either way, works for us.
So we've got Fury 103 coming up here next week. What's this, man? My IG's getting all buzzed over here.
Fury 103, 20 pro fights. All pro event.
Yeah, what are you, mad?
20 pro fights.
So 20 pro fights on this card.
And it is a banger.
Headlined by the
TMF.
Loham Estevez and Nate Richardson.
Wow.
We're going to give them another chance to run this back here. And
please do.
Yeah, You
already got that green screen on?
Nate Richardson, for those who don't know, he had to pull out of his last fight in San Antonio versus Loham for the TMF belt. Very last minute. But Nate doesn't have a history of that.
No, not
That's
at all.
not Nate's history. That's not Nate's innate. Nate generally is there. He makes his weight. He's ready to fight at all times.
Yep.
And so, this isn't one of those things where we have to like make him feel bad for not being there.
No, not at all.
He felt bad enough that he couldn't be there on the card. So, but he asked right away too, can we turn this around and can I get on the next one? And I mean, things worked out. Both fighters were able to do it, and now we're going to walk away with another Absolutely. I can't get in my count over here on this thing.
You looking for your docs?
No, I got this over here. Another absolute banger of a card. Let me see here. I hate these stupid ads that pop up on like Tapology and places. Co-main event, Colton England taking on Carlton Minus. This could definitely be a showcase type of fight for Colton.
They were originally going to headline the card until
Right.
we moved, so we're still going to let them fight. They're going to do 5 rounds. They're still going to do 5 rounds, co-main event, non-title. But yeah, I mean, obviously there's more on the line, I believe, for Colton
Right.
than there is for Carlton. I think this is Colton's coming out party. If he can put Carl Minus away, get the mic and really state his case, but it works both ways. I mean, if Carl puts him away,
Yeah.
it kind of crushes his dreams.
I mean, this is Colton's biggest chance.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage, and he'll be able to look. He goes out there and gets a finish. I think Colton sets himself up to be. I don't think he necessarily needs the title to go. I think he can go without the title.
Yeah.
But he's got to get a finish. This is finishing a former UFC vet in Carlton Minus, who's
Good
very
record.
tough. Very, they almost have identical records. So this is a big opportunity for Colton. And let's
Colton's
see.
what, 14-4?
14-4. Carlton's
14-6.
14-5.
14-5. Oh,
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
wow.
perfect. Some
Yeah.
great matchmaking.
So
Man, who's the matchmaking people?
we got this guy that just sends us notes.
Yeah.
Bruce Whitehead coming back at 170 pounds as he takes on
right.
Keenan Jackson.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Very fun fight. Bruce the Goose. That dude has, since he fought Tater McSpaden, he has not been in a boring fight. And Bruce has become one of my favorite guys on the roster, man.
There's been a few fighters who we've had the conversation of, hey man, you gotta up the intensity. You got to
Some don't listen, though.
no
This fucking guy listened.
right away.
And he has been one of the most exciting. And
Yeah.
he's going
He
to
took it to
punch
heart,
his
too.
ticket like that.
Up next, 155 pounds. You've got one of the nation's top unsigned prospects.
Yep.
Lester Batres Jr. taking on Brett Pastor. Shout out to Brett, man. Not a lot of guys wanted to fight Lester Jr. Because you see him as a 4-0 pro, but then you forget he's got like 20 amateur fights. Like the kid's got a ton of experience.
And Brett's confident, man. He comes from Jackson Wink, sent all his medicals in already. Flights are booked, hotels booked. He's ready to go.
Also on the card, return of the future Fury FC Hall of Famer Nico Echeverri as he takes on Devin Dixon at 155 pounds. This fight can go one of two ways. This fight can be terrible. It can be two wrestlers wrestling.
I don't think Devin Dixon allows this fight to be boring.
I think Nico tries to seize his opportunity here.
I agree.
And I think we see the Nico who was like head kicking guys and,
Yep.
and I think we see him take some risks.
But Devin puts him in a position to do that because I don't think Dixon's going to be easy to wrestle for.
No.
So when you got to stand up and trade,
Yeah.
somebody's going to sleep.
Up next, Artur Minev taking on Shane Keefe, another 155-pound absolute banger on this card.
This will be Keith's first time at 55, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering how.
And he's a big boy.
That's a big cut. That 170, 155, that 15 pounds, man. That's a big drop.
We haven't got to see much from Artur though, besides his 11 seconds.
Big power that he showed pretty quickly.
Against that debut guy. So I think Shane Keefe will impose some obstacles for him to have to overcome. So let's see.
Up next, you've got Sebastian Oyervidez taking on 12-fight veteran Ryan Mandala. Sebastian is quickly putting himself in a similar situation where it's like it's kind of hard to match him up. Guys don't want to fight him.
Yeah.
But I think when you talk about who could be the next like superstar to come out of Fury, you have to mention Sebastian Oyervidez.
Yeah, I think if he can get 5 fights in this year, I think he goes to contender.
Dude,
man.
his
Straight up.
presence, the presence that kid shows when the music hits and he walks out, like he owns the moment.
Yeah.
He gets into the cage and he does what he needs to do. And his grappling is just on another level.
You know, I was at the arena the other day, and for whatever reason, Sebastian popped into my head at T-Mobile. Can you imagine Careless Whisper coming through that
Oh,
place
dude.
in T-Mobile?
Yeah.
Or any big arena like
Yeah.
that, and Sebastian
Yeah.
walking out smiling?
Yeah.
To George Michael.
Also on the card, Marcus Nash taking on Felipe Rocha in a battle of 185-pound pros. We got Anthony Went and Omar El Shalal, the big boys, throwing down at heavyweight.
The Bull. Omar's so excited to come back, man.
And then kicking off the card, the fast-rising Cody Freeman taking on Kyle Todrank.
What a scrap.
Yeah.
Dude.
Absolute bangers. On the undercard, guys, we've got some awesome fights as well. Donovan Manuel taking on Paul Garza. Max Toriev taking on Derek Adjade. Antonio Andrade taking on Colton Emmerich. Alex Eliam, Michael White. Omar Smith, Jacob Berry. Eduardo Anaya taking on the All-Star. Josh Aliman, Maya Stewart, Kayla Yontif, Connor Owens, Jeremy Alba, Drake Lopez, Michael Capone, and Christian Lopez taking on Karan Reed. Guys, 20 fights deep.
It's like the A-team.
20 fights deep next week. If you haven't got your tickets, go right now to furyfc.tv, go to Fury 103, get your tickets, make sure you support the local events and come out there. For those who are listening online, take a second, share the post that we put out, let people know about the event that you're going out to. Somebody who shares our latest post on the event, I'm gonna post up a video here in just a little bit. I'm gonna pick one person to receive 2 VIP tickets to come out to the fights on 103, but you gotta be sharing everything that we're posting up, coming up here about this event. Fury 103, give me one fight out of these 20 fights deep on this card that you're most looking forward to.
Ooh, just one?
Just one. You can only go one. Don't give me 1A and 1B.
Shit, man. Lester Jr.
All right.
Lester Jr. I want to see it. You know, it's always when somebody goes in there undefeated, it's kind of like, oh shit, is he going to stay undefeated?
Right.
And this is a little bit more competition, but he always rises to the occasion, man. So, I mean,
You got Diego.
interested.
Stick with Sebastian.
Okay. It's hard. I mean, it's hard not to.
It's hard not to, yeah.
I
just feel like Lester's a little bit closer than Sebastian is, 2-0,
Sure.
4-0. So Lester's about 2 fights away. Sebastian's about 3.
I'm playing a little hometown cooking. I'm going with Josh Aliman and Eduardo Anaya.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how Josh responds after winning every part of a fight up until the last 30 seconds of a fight and losing. That's never happened to him before. He's never been submitted. He's never been in a situation like that. So I'm interested to see how he responds to that. I can tell you his camp preparation's been amazing, been outstanding to watch him out there. So, and I do think he is one of the most exciting fighters on the roster. And he's got a big future.
Love his walkout music.
I'm also interested in Artur Meniv. I want to see what he can do with Keith, because Keith's a dog, man. And at 155, if the cut goes right, he's going to be a fucking problem to a lot of these 55ers we got right now.
So,
Bruce Whitehead as well. Also the TMF.
There's so
Colton England's return.
I know there's a
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can't really pick one.
all right, so you've
can
got
you have 2 main cards?
so you've got the we're 3 fights in to the year coming up here right now. Fury 103 coming up. Who is your current breakout star? Who do you think's gonna have the biggest year in 2025?
I might have to cheat real quick. I gotta go back to a couple cards. That's a tough one, man.
So I'm gonna give you. You know what? I'll let you. You can have 3.
3 breakout
You
stars.
can have 3 breakout stars. I'm gonna give you my number one. My number one breakout star is Sebastian Ravitas.
Okay. Fair enough.
I think
he hasn't fought this year yet.
He hasn't fought this year, but I think by the.
So let's go off of guys that have fought.
Well, that's hard to do. I'm just talking about Fury in general.
I mean, if you talk about guys that have fought
Just
this
talking
year,
about, just talking about Fury in general.
Kyle.
well, I'm gonna say Sam Kilmer.
Okay.
I mean, he's the welterweight champ, and he's looked better and better and better. He fought at Fury 100. He's coming back in May to defend the belt.
I'm really looking forward for Kyle too.
Yeah. So Sam for sure is one of them. Man, I mean, I gotta say Damian Arande. After he just submitted Michael Blockus.
Sure, yeah.
Blockus is a dog. Damian's fought twice already, and we're barely in March. He's already fought twice this year.
I'm gonna give you another one here. Josh Motzinger.
He was gonna be one of my next ones.
Fucking stud.
He was gonna be one of my next ones.
Stud.
Yeah, Motzinger as well.
And now this one he's already a star, but I think Cameron Graves is going to have a massive 2025. He's got a tough fight coming up. We'll announce that soon. on an absolutely insane fucking card. Fury 104. I'm telling you right now, guys. Like, you don't want to miss this show.
Man, I gotta say Jackson Glass.
I think that the only reason I didn't say Jackson Glass is because I think at most he gets 3 or 4 fights this year.
I booked him again already.
I know he is. I know, I'm just saying.
Bashinger, that 85er.
Jeez.
Chris Ewart and Bashinger.
There's so many.
Banger.
There's so many good ones on these.
So
cards,
just,
man.
just a little insight real quick without saying too many names and too many whatever, but our May 25th card has 5 pro title fights on it. 5. We're about to put some straps up, but versus, like, the guys fighting for these belts have some heavy records.
Yeah.
Like,
heavy records, and quite a few of these guys, I'm not sure if they're back after these title fights.
These are gonna go, we're gonna put the belt on them and then it's going vacant. I can almost guarantee it.
Speaking of events from this weekend, so we have 2026, this year we had Josh Van and Alex Morano. 2025 were our Hall of Famers. Looking back, when we started the Hall of Fame, we had to do a lot of research and start looking back at number of fights, what they've done. There's so many people that we
That's a Wayne pitched retro.
Yeah. Fucking Wayne. There's so many people who are great candidates.
Oh, yeah.
When you think about Fury as it sits right now, and this is not saying this is who they can be, but when you think about Hall of Fame candidates, who comes to mind for you right now?
For me, I see the Pit.
Pitt? Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Damn, yeah.
Daniel Pineda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daniel does.
There's 4 that stand out for me right now. I think Daniel Pineda is a shoe-in. It's just when we put him in. I think Cameron Graves is a shoe-in as well. It's just when you put him in. He's still active fighting. It's hard to put him in there now. Michael Aswell. If Michael Aswell gets picked up by the UFC, I think or when he gets picked up by the UFC, I think that puts him there.
Yep.
And I think a guy like Nico Echeverry.
That's what I was about to say.
At what point do we put Cody Steele in? He was all amateur, all pro with us.
It could be this year too. I mean, look, we control how many people we put in. We can do 2, 3, 7. I mean, we're not doing 7, but we can do however many we want. I think, on one hand, like we did this year, I think it's not most this year. Like, you kind of have to go with an active person who's maybe in the UFC and someone who helped get us to where we're at. That's kind of like where we've leaned towards. We'll see. Abdul Kamara needs to be signed to the UFC. He's doing really well, Richie. He'll be back here soon. Let's see, CGI. We got CGI 2 coming up.
What's
as
the
well.
date on that?
August 30th and 31st.
He was there.
Yeah.
He was.
He's a crazy dude.
He is, bro. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He was sitting right in front of Morono, and he's a character, man.
Yeah.
I won't say too much.
He's like that.
He's a character.
He's like that at all times.
Did you see him at UFC? How he kissed that guy?
Yeah. Not the first guy he's kissing.
Oh, man. They put the cameras on him and he grabbed the dude's face. Like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Hey, guys, make sure you check out our amazing sponsors, Warbringer Whiskey, OnlyFans. Make sure you go to onlyfans.com/furyfighting, Sheath Underwear, Space City Collective, Danuna Law Firm. I'm going to run out of space with all these dang people I got to put on here. Fighters Inc.
Sisu Plunge.
Sisu Cold Plunge.
Home Sauna.
Home Sauna IO. I got a billion sponsors these days.
Who else? Who am I missing?
Kimura Tattoo Company.
You got Danuna?
Got Danuna.
OnlyFans?
Oh, you trying to go through the Rolodex of who was over here, who's where.
Yeah, man, it's a lot.
But our
subscribe to this.
Walid Prezada. Make sure you go. Make sure you go check out Walid Prezada.
Boys, Walid got me looking fresh. I got a gray suit I'm about to pull out for 323.
Yeah. I'm going to get lined up for another suit. I've already got my insides. Know what I want on the inside.
You gonna work it for 323?
I might. It's hard to transition out of the role of getting up and down on the thing and doing my shots and stuff, and then
It's hard to do that in some suit pants.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip them for sure. I need more stretch in the crotch.
Did you just tell him that? Tell him my shit to be like gi pants.
I mean, we got crawfish season going down.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Did you guys do anything for Mardi Gras?
I hear that Mojo's has some of the best crawfish.
It's pretty good.
So, I mean, ask Mick. He's gonna say Mojo's is.
Yeah, I've had some really good crawfish at Mojo's.
Does Hooters do crawfish?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No.
I still prefer Mike's Seafood, man. Like, I hit up Mike's Seafood. It's like going to church. Like that's just a spot to go to.
Like going to St. James, huh?
It's like going to St. James, going to the church.
Okay.
It's a phenomenal place. But like, I want to know where do you guys go? Tag us under the Fury page where you guys go and get your crawfish at, and maybe we'll stop by and do some crawfish reviews.
Somebody said Popeye's chicken.
Popeye's chicken. Well, you son of a bitch.
Popeye's chicken for crawfish.
Hey, this past weekend at UFC 313, Hall of Fame induction for Mr. Robbie Lawler.
Yes.
If there has been another fighter who, like, you could take the word fighter and put next to that a picture of Robbie Lawler, and I think everybody would get it. Like, you would just understand that that's a fucking fighter, man. You go back and watch some of his wars that he had. Him and Rory McDonald.
That's probably one of my favorites.
Tried to murder each other.
Yes.
Every single time. And I was very lucky enough to get to train with him early on in my life, and man, like,
Pat
shout out to Robbie on an outstanding career, and just one of the best people, man. Just one of the nicest guys that I've seen in this industry.
So violent he is, and so sensitive he is too. When he was watching you,
Yeah.
you couldn't. That's
Well, it's hard, man. Like, it's hard to watch yourself receive credit. You know, and that's one thing I know that like Eric really doesn't like. I don't really like it when people like. It's always like thank you for the kind words, but also like shut the fuck up. It's what we're supposed to do. Like we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So it's hard sometimes to take those kind words and that credit back from people. Shout out to Kara talking about Lawler versus Condit. You damn right.
That was a good fight.
So I can understand that when you're watching Lawler, like, you know, tear up a little bit. Those are true powerful emotions that are coming out of somebody who doesn't like to show that.
I admired that more coming from him.
Yeah, he was super fun. So we've got 103 next week, and then we got Submission Hunter Pro San Antonio. Is that 96, 97?
96.
I don't know. It's a billion of them at this
There's
point.
a lot of matches.
We got Submission Hunter Pro coming
75
up after
matches?
60.
2 shows going on in April. 418, all amateurs, 427, and the next in our Challenger series of fighting. And then we are back with Fury 104, and I'm telling you right now, when we announce this card, guys, you're gonna shit your pants. Your pants will have been shit-a-thon.
We are working on 105 right now.
Yeah.
For June 22nd. And it's like 90% done already.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna start July. And that's because we might backtrack a little bit and
Plug some, yeah.
Yeah, plug something in for like May, another one in for May.
Yeah, and fighters, like I
Out
really hope you guys understand that. I get asked a lot. Like right now, people are messaging me like, "Hey man, you got anything going on in March, April?" Yeah, but we're in July. We're making fights in July right now. Yeah. You know, that's why it's really important. We look at the guys who are on our roster.
And we
plug them in and fill our cards, and we keep them busy because that's our first commitment.
Yep.
Outside of that, then we go through and find like spots to plug in. Yeah. So
don't be one of those guys that runs off. It's hard to come back, guys.
It is hard to come back. It's just you move down the level of importance.
I make priorities for the guys who make us a priority.
100%, man.
It's just business.
100%.
It's business.
So we've got UFC 103 coming up, Diego. I'm super excited, man. UFC 103, Fury FC 103. Quite a run we've had so far to start this year. Looking forward to it, guys. Make sure you go to furyfc.tv and pick up your tickets right now. Once again, I'm going to post a video up here in just a little bit on the Fury IG page. Share that post. Let your friends share that post, and I'm going to select one lucky person to receive some VIP tickets to Fury FC 103. You got anything else, Diego?
Nope. Just be safe. Looking forward to the fights.
El Jefe, you got anything?
Nope.
Well, hey, man, Wayne's not here, but in honor of Mr. Wayne, listen, the time for talk is over. Go to J. Wayne Leger on Instagram and leave him a little follow. Tell him I love you. We out of here, guys.
It's time to unleash the fury.